Hey everyone, welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour. I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
And we are here with some questions that our lovely producer written up for us because today we aren't recapping a show and it's just going to be Serena and I getting to know each other a little better.
Interviewing each other.
We're interviewing each other. How do you want to do this? You want to go question for question?
Yeah, sure. You go, I'll go, and we'll just flow through this.
Just so you guys know, we got about 80 questions here. We, we'll pick and choose, but we both got to answer them.
Definitely.
All right. I'll go first.
Let's kick it off. Let's see if you can surprise me on anything. I feel like I'm so interested in the process of as you still learn more about each other as the relationship goes on. Because I still learn about you, of course, every single day. But we've gotten to the point where I'm like, I know so much about you that when you tell a story that I haven't heard before, I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard this before. This is such a surprise.
Interesting.
Do you feel that way about me?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
I don't know why that answer annoyed me.
All right, let's kick this. Wait, who are we with?
Try to not be completely dismissive through this entire episode.
Who are we with we asked someone something recently and they just gave I know what you're talking about. Serena C.
Yeah, we asked her something like,
are you dating anyone? And she goes, no. But she was in the middle of.
But she was in the middle of chewing. And
it was funny.
Anyway.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go. Do you have any travel plans upcoming that you're excited about in 2025?
Okay. Yes, I do. One of my best friends is getting married next year, and she is likely doing her bachelorette trip in the summer, July, August, and we're going to the Calgary Stampede, which is not a dream.
I didn't know. Wait, you're going to the Calgary Stampede. Am I going to this?
No.
Oh.
I actually don't think I've told you about this yet.
Oh, yeah. No, you haven't.
Yeah. So my friend Caitlin.
What's the Calgary Stampede?
It's a very Canadian thing. And I'm going to be totally honest, I don't really know what it is.
Are there bulls on the ground?
Horses, I think. Yeah.
Oh.
It's like a horse thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think bull stampedes have to be illegal in the States.
I don't know if that exists.
It does in Spain.
A bull stampede?
Well, when they...
I think that's bullfighting.
No, when they let the bulls run through the streets and everybody runs away from them. You've never seen that?
Are you referring to cartoons or is this real life?
No, I'm referring to I think it happens in Spain. I don't know if they do it anymore though.
I don't know, but that sounds like they shouldn't do it anymore. That sounds crazy.
It is kind of. Crazy.
No, the Calgary Stampede is a big thing in Canada. It takes place in Calgary, where I've had layovers there, but I've never been. And I don't know much about it because I've never aspired to go there, but I have a lot of friends who have gone. My cousin goes every year. He loves it. It's a big party. I would compare it not to a music festival, but it's a weekend of events, and it's a lot of drinking and bars and all that stuff. Wow. And events. And yeah, so that's where she's always wanted to go for her bachelorette. So now that she's engaged, getting married next year, we're going to be going there in the summer, which will be really fun.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. Wow. I have a few trips planned for 2025.
Do you now? Tell me about it.
Yeah. I plan on taking an Asia trip.
Yes. With me. Hopefully.
Well, I don't know, because the one trip you're excited about, I'm not included. So,
well, it's the only trip that I have actually officially on the books.
I haven't taken a trip with my friends in a few years.
That's ridiculous. You go to Vegas 4 times a year with your friends.
Vegas doesn't count.
You also go to Florida with them.
Vegas doesn't count, or Florida definitely doesn't count.
Joe likes to claim that those aren't trips and they're not boys' trips, but I don't know what category you'd put them under.
Okay, so just so everyone listening understands where I'm coming from. We live in New York, so I don't live in the same city with my friends that I grew up with. So when I go meet them in Vegas or Florida, it's not really we set up this trip. We're just meeting there.
I don't know why you keep trying to bamboozle me.
Okay, so...
but I would love, Joe and I really have always wanted to go to Asia. I've never been, he's been.
Yeah, I've been to Japan.
We've talked about going there for the past few years, and every year we end up deciding against it for whatever reason. It's just really far, and it's going to be expensive, and it's an intimidating trip to book, which is I think why we always end up being let's go to Italy or London instead. But eventually I want to pull the trigger on it and do it.
And I would like to go to Mexico City.
I would like to go there too.
And maybe another Europe trip.
Where in Europe is calling to you?
Well, You've never been to Paris.
I've never been to Paris.
And I think we might have to go to Paris.
You didn't like Paris very much.
I like Paris. I just have like I don't know. I just feel guilty going to restaurants and then not being able to speak the language, and then especially now you have a nut allergy in a place like Paris, which is such a food city, and we may have an issue with that. And
yeah, language barriers always like an added layer when we travel because of my allergy.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we have some exciting trips planned, so it'll be good.
Your turn.
Okay. Next question is, how do you feel about vow renewals?
I don't feel great about it.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah, you renewing your vows. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I just, to me, enough. Right? Like
you don't want to talk about your feelings anymore. You did it and you're done.
I've been doing it. Yeah, I mean, I did it. We did it for a long way. I've talked about my feelings way more than I ever thought I ever would.
Same.
So I feel like we've done that, you know?
I mean, I could see us having like an anniversary party, like if we, stick it out for 10, 20 years, call it like an anniversary party. And maybe we don't do a vow renewal, but we could like write a nice card.
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I just think
you don't want to celebrate our anniversary?
I think I do, but I don't think anybody else really does. And I'm going to be honest, I don't want to celebrate anybody's either. I think if we're going to have an anniversary thing, we go away ourselves and we make it nice and it's intimate between us. Nobody wants to celebrate our anniversary. And if they say they do, I think they're lying. Well, maybe our parents.
Well, I showed you my friend Bridget is a video editor.
Yeah.
And she just recut her parents' wedding footage into a wedding recap video, and they had everyone come over to celebrate. I think it was 30 years of them being married.
Okay, a house party.
And that was super beautiful.
Yeah, we also don't have kids right now, but a house party where we have kids.
And their best man and their maid of honor were there.
A house party when we have kids. Okay, a house party's different.
Okay, so we can throw a house party, but we cannot throw a vow renewal party.
Yeah, it has to be in our home. It cannot be at like.
What if it's at like a restaurant?
No, then no, we're asking too much. It needs to be It needs to be a casual, like if you live near us, you want to come by. You
just never like to feel like you're burdening people with plans.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know. We won't be having a vow renewal.
All right. Bye.
Sissany, Tanya Seacrest with you here, but change that. What they're doing
now, it comes with something even more special. To music festivals, to wellness.
Kitten to the vet because of money.
Thing you've ever eaten, and would you eat it again?
I have an immediate answer for this.
I know what you're going to say.
Yes. Your turn.
What's the I like this. What's the strangest thing you've ever eaten? And would you eat it again?
I have an immediate answer for this.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah. So Joe and I went to London together, and we went to a restaurant called the River Cafe, which is beautiful. It's on the water. The menu changes, I think, like every meal. And we ordered rabbit and polenta as one of our like 3 courses.
I will say, like most of the people that I looked up on TikTok said that was the best restaurant in London, and I couldn't disagree more, but keep going.
I think there was a lot of really good things about it. I think we misordered, but I had never had rabbit before. Joe had. I've had duck, and I thought that maybe they would be similar. Maybe rabbit would be a little bit gamier. But we felt like it's a really reputable restaurant. So I was like, if there's somewhere to be adventurous and try something new and feel like safe about it, I feel like this is a good spot. So we tried it, but what we didn't consider was what parts of the rabbit were going to be in the dish, and it was all chopped up into little pieces on top of the polenta. And it was definitely all parts. And we didn't pick up on that until we found what I feel to be was a kidney. And that was not an enjoyable experience to eat. And I did feel nauseous for about 3 hours afterwards, both physically and psychologically. So that would be up there.
Ooh, I'm getting
I
a
know.
little.
Oh my
little-
God.
It was pretty
not
gross.
good.
I would say that's probably the same for me. That was pretty
Really?
gross. Yeah, because like just the way I bit it, like I bit, there was like this little.
We cut it in
kidney
half,
and
and Joe was like, do it.
Yeah.
Like, let's try it. We're here. We got to do it. And then after that, we were like, what are we doing? What kinds of choices are we making? Because we both now just feel sick and didn't really enjoy it.
I was so happy the next day to go have lunch at the Shoom, which was like a casual Indian restaurant.
Oh,
and it was
me
so
too.
good.
It was really good.
That was great.
Okay. Next question is, who was your first celebrity crush? Do you remember yours?
My first celebrity crush?
Yeah, like when you're a kid.
Yeah, Kathy Ireland.
Who's that?
she was like a I think like a swimsuit model. And,
Oh my God, you're interested in older women. How old were you?
I mean, I was probably young, but she was in a football movie.
What's young though? How old?
I don't know. I get
Like
confused.
6 or like 12?
Like before, like probably like third grade,
Okay.
maybe second grade or third grade. She was in a football movie where she was a punter, and I was like, wow, this girl's so hot. Yeah, so her.
Okay. Mine was, you've probably never seen this movie, but I was obsessed with Peter Pan as a kid. Like the movie, I was obsessed with it. And then they came out with a bunch of like live versions of different takes on Peter Pan, right?
Yeah.
And there was one that was called Peter Pan, and it was this little blonde curly hair boy who was like around my age at the time I was watching the movie, and I was obsessed with him because I already went into it like a huge Peter Pan fan.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that movie so many times, and the soundtrack is also so magical, and it's just so like I would watch that movie today and probably still love every second of it. But I had a really big crush on him.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, okay.
Yep.
What? Okay, this is good. I like this. You actually skipped this one, so I'm bringing it back.
Okay.
What are some of your favorite memories to look back on from your time on Paradise? And I'm actually curious why you did skip that, but
Well, I just feel like
that's a whole nother question for another day.
I feel like we've answered that one before.
Oh, really?
But
Okay.
I'll answer it again.
Well, let's make it quick then.
Okay. I loved morning chats with Abigail. We shared a bed and we'd wake up every morning and have a little chat, and that was just a fun way to start the day. And we did beach walks and chatted, and I loved our beach walks. I liked coming.
I mean, at this rate, maybe we won't make it back.
You know
Maybe we
what?
won't
I'm
make it
getting
to,
there, Joe. I'm
vow
getting there. Okay,
renewals.
it can't always be all about you. I would come down and you would always be sitting there in the morning with Aaron and James having breakfast. And that was just like, I don't know, there's so much chaos. Like the things that I liked the most when I look back, the things that brought me the most comfort were almost like the routines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
waking up and knowing like I was going to go down and I was going to get my coffee or my smoothie, and you were going to be sitting there with Aaron and James, and then we would have breakfast together. I liked that. And then like in terms of big moments, it was just kind of the obvious ones. Like when I told you I was falling in love with you, that was insane and romantic and special. And then also you planned a Chicago date for me where we had pizza and we did shots and we just chatted, and I loved that moment too because it just felt very like natural and organic. And I think that was the moment where I was like, wow, we're very comfortable around each other.
Yeah.
And we can really lean into that moving forward.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, for me, I agree with all those moments.
Mhm.
And I think just like you said, like the routine, but it was also just really nice not to have to stress about daily life, and like you're kind of like in this bubble, but you don't have any like real worries, and you don't have your phone. And I think just not having my phone for whatever it was, 30 days was really like, it's like a wonderful reset.
Yeah, it is a relief because like if anything happens that you need to know about, like you're not totally isolated from the world. You'll hear about it. So there is that like comfort. I also loved that day where the storm was coming in and we had to evacuate the beach, and they were like covering everything with tarps, and that was crazy. But I remember going to the room and I was in a room with Mari. They like paired us off. Who were you with? Kenny?
No.
Noah?
No. Riley.
And I remember we got into the room. We'd hadn't been sleeping much because we were filming, a lot. It's long filming hours. We were so tired and sleep deprived and all of the things. And just to be in a hotel room with AC blasting, Mari and I literally took like a 3-hour nap. We woke up, we had dinner, we chatted a little bit, and then we went back to sleep, and I got like 12 hours of sleep that night. And then I remember also really missing you and being excited about that feeling because we hadn't been apart the entire time. And then coming back and seeing you and just feeling like fresh.
Yeah.
That was good.
It's good times. Yeah. Good times on the beach.
Good times on the beach. Okay, is it my turn?
Yeah.
What was your favorite dance that you did on Dancing with the Stars?
None of them.
None of them? There wasn't one that you liked best out of all of them?
No, I'm joking. The last one I did because I knew that week I was going home, and it was like the first time I felt comfortable.
Yeah.
So that was
you could finally get out of your head.
Yeah, the last one I did. And like
do you remember what the style was?
It was the same as the first week. And the first week I bombed so bad. Like that was by far my worst dance was the first week.
Yeah.
And I think it was Quick Step. And that was the week, that last week where I was like, wow. Like it was like the moment where I was like, man, if I could have just like not have had stage fright and got over and was able to get over that, this could have been, I could have actually did decent.
Yeah.
So that was my favorite.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I feel like it's nice you got to experience at least one dance not feeling like terrible, like crippling anxiety.
Yeah. Okay. Man, there's a lot of good questions here. I want to answer, if you can make the ultimate sandwich, what would be on it?
This is
a question I would ask you at dinner.
I know. And Joe and I have had a lot of sandwich conversations of like, what's the best sandwich?
Well, go. I mean, I asked the question, so you got to go first.
I know. It's really hard. Okay. Let me think about like the sandwiches that I like.
I would start with bread.
Okay. So I'm going to go with just a classic French, like a long French roll.
Like a French baguette or a soft or a French loaf.
You know what? I'm going to change my answer. I'm going to go with focaccia. And then I'm going to do prosciutto, arugula tossed in olive oil and like seasoned because otherwise like just plain arugula is so bitter and dry. Roasted red peppers, a olive tapenade, and then drizzled with a little balsamic glaze. And then that's it.
Wow. Okay.
What do you think?
I like it.
Doesn't that sound really good?
It sounds great.
It's not really a sandwich you could eat.
Yeah.
Our producer just said focaccia has no place in this conversation.
Well, yeah, I kind of agree.
You know what? It's an unconventional choice, but you put me on the spot. This is one of the harder questions you've asked.
Okay.
What about you?
I would do a toasted French baguette.
Yes.
With wildly thinly shaved mortadella.
Okay.
I would butter the one side of the baguette, and then I would sprinkle it with olive oil, and then sprinkle some sea salt, and then it would have, I'm trying to think of which cheese that I would want. I don't know the cheese. It would be a sharp cheese. I want to say maybe just Parmesan Reggiano, just sliced thin, but in longer slices. And then
shaved? Shaved Parmesan?
Shaved. And then I would just cut the sandwich in half. And I think that would be the sandwich.
Wow. You never get mortadella because I know because it has, pistachios in it?
Yeah. And I never liked mortadella. Like growing up, I thought mortadella was gross. It was like, it tastes like bologna. But if you get good mortadella, like in Italy, like I remember having mortadella out there, and that was the first time I was like, oh, mortadella is actually better than prosciutto.
Well, when we go to Canada, you should get mortadella sandwiches because they don't put nuts in it in Canada. It's only in the U.S.
Yeah, it just has to be sliced thinly, and I don't really eat lunch meat that much anymore. But that's
true, especially because of the boar's head situation. That's really turned me off of lunch meat.
And I'm also like ultimate sandwich, like it has to be something that you can make. I mean, I guess you can make a French dip or something like that, but I'm not, those are like more, when I hear sandwich, I think of.
We're talking about like classic cold sandwich.
Yeah.
Or like if it's hot, it's like toasted. But
Yeah.
what, I can think of 2 of like my favorite sandwiches that we've ever had. Do
Okay.
you have a favorite sandwich you've ever had?
Like together?
Yeah, or like on your own. But like I would say 2 of my favorites I've had with you. Come on, these sandwiches are so good. Okay, fine. Okay, wait, but mine was gonna be the
one in London?
and the bear steak one.
Oh, I wouldn't do the bear steak, but.
That's crazy. That one was so good.
Being a Delta Sky Miles member already offers experiences available too from VIP.
Okay, is it my turn to ask a question? Did you just ask a question?
Yeah, I asked that one.
Okay. Not a Sky Miles member? It's free and easy to sign up and start earning miles today. Terms apply. Okay, is it my turn to ask a question? Did you just ask a question?
Yeah, I asked that one.
Okay. I see a question on here that's funny. Are you 2 music festival kind of people? What are your thoughts on music festivals, Joe? We've never been to one together.
I'm not big on music festivals. I'm not big on going to any of events where getting in and getting out is such a process. That's my issue. I do, once I'm at a music festival, I enjoy it, but I do need like that like first class treatment of
You got to be a VIP.
of getting in and out. I don't care about even being in like the crowds. It's just the in and out because I hate lines. Like I hate waiting in line. That's what I can't stand that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where.
Do you have a music festival you've been to that you liked, or was it always just kind
I've liked every music festival I've ever been to.
Do you have a favorite?
I mean, Coachella was when I went was fine. Lollapalooza, we've always had fun going to that. Those are kind of the only 2 music festivals I've been to.
Yeah. I've only been to one music festival, and it was with one of my best friends. I think it was the year after our first year of university, she was like a rave queen. Like she lived for like raves music festivals. Okay. And she took me to Veld, which is one in Toronto that's super popular, and it's all like EDM music, which I'm not really into. And if I'm going to ride it out, like I feel like I need to sing along, and there's no words. So like that was definitely a problem. But I really couldn't get into it. Like I really struggled. Like I had fun for the first like hour or 2, but I was like 18 or like 19 and broke at the time. So I was like, I can't believe that I have to spend $20 for a Red Bull, which was just ridiculous at 19 years old, and getting in and out. I left on my own on the 3rd night because I was just like, I'm getting claustrophobic and I'm just overwhelmed and I'm tired and I got to get out of here. And it took me like 30 minutes wandering around the streets in my like itty bitty shorts and crop top trying to find my Uber. And I was like, I'm going to cry. Like, I'm going to get kidnapped. I'm going to get taken. I'm so vulnerable. I'm so exhausted. Like, this is a terrible experience right now. And I'm short. So, like, imagine being in the middle of a mosh pit at a music festival and all you're looking at is, like, people's lower backs.
That sounds literally horrible.
I know. So, but with all that being said, I would be open to trying, like, Stagecoach or something. But the ones... And then there's also Boots and Hearts, which I don't know if you guys have ones like that where you, like, camp out all weekend.
I can't believe I've never been to Stagecoach.
I feel like it was always Coachella that was the music festival, and now Stagecoach has like crept up.
I guess. All right. What is the most underrated city you have ever visited?
That's kind of hard because I feel like everyone's definition of underrated is different.
Well, I guess okay. So, what city that you have visited was a surprise to you?
Probably.
We're like, oh, I didn't realize this
Prague.
was okay.
Because I did a bunch of traveling after I graduated university, and the cities that I was most excited to go to, I ended up liking, but not like loving. And the cities that like I remember we went to Prague and Berlin, which like I didn't really know anything about, and they weren't even on like my bucket list of like needing to go to, and I was obsessed with them. Mm. What about you?
I'm trying to think. The problem with me is I do extensive research before I go anywhere.
Yeah, you do a lot of
So
research.
I'm never really surprised. I would say, you know what? Maybe Amsterdam, because I thought Amsterdam was going to be more like, I thought Amsterdam at the time is more like all about like the red light district and all that. And it's much more picturesque than I had imagined.
Yeah.
So maybe there. But other than that, yeah, I'm very seldomly am I shocked.
I didn't go. They have like a Guinness museum in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And I didn't go and I regretted that.
I'm trying to think anywhere in Canada. Maybe Vancouver.
Vancouver?
Yeah, maybe Vancouver.
Yeah, I like Vancouver a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many spots in Canada that, are so close to the U.S., but people just don't think about because you have so many places to go within your own country.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it my question?
It's your question.
Who is better with money?
I think it all depends on, what we consider better.
Yeah.
I am riskier, and in 5 to 10 years, that may turn out to be better, or it may turn out to be a lot worse. So with that said, I think, it depends. Like if you are somebody that needs to be safe and conservative with money, you're that person.
Yeah.
And if you're somebody that likes to have all your money out there, then I would say me.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think either of us are bad with money. I would just say I'm safer and more conservative, and you're riskier and you're more likely to put yourself in a tough position, but you've never put yourself in a position that I would consider to be like seriously irresponsible. At least since we've been together, thank God.
I would say I'm worse with spending. I will, because I still will buy things where I'm like, you don't need that. You didn't have to do that. Why are you spending your money?
Yeah, but you also are like you're not a shopaholic by any means, but you will buy something because you need it, but also because it makes you feel good to like buy something and be excited about it. And then you get like buyer's remorse and you're like, why did I do that? I could have bought that for half the price. I didn't need that. Like it was a short-lived luxury.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
I know you do. I know. I don't do that. But also your spending habits, I would say from 10 years ago to now are very different. Like hearing about how you used to mess around with money when you were 25 versus 35.
But it's also different. I was single.
Yeah, I guess.
And when I was single, I didn't care as much about money.
Right. You were like, I could be bankrupt.
Yeah, like who cares? Like I'll figure it out.
That's crazy to me. That's like so the opposite of how I think.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like always saving. I'm like the just in case saver. Like what if something happens just in case?
Yeah, that's good though.
I know, thank God, because you don't.
All right, last question, and then we are going to wrap this. You ready for this?
Yep, I'm ready.
I like this one. What is the best dipping condiment for French fries? These are great questions, by the way.
We're going to disagree, I think. Because I really like spicy mayo.
Oh, ugh.
I know.
Gross. And you don't even like mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise is disgusting. But anytime it's like a little seasoned, like throw a little salt or a little garlic or a little lemon or like mix it with sriracha and it's a whole new experience.
The best dipping condiment for French fries is hands down ketchup. Ketchup.
I have like a love-hate relationship. Like sometimes I get a little icked out from ketchup.
But I also
But sometimes it's good.
I do also really like malt vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
And
But I don't know if I would call that a dipping condiment because you don't really dip it.
And I also like ketchup with hot sauce mixed in it.
Have you had fries and gravy before?
Poutine?
No, just fries and gravy, no cheese, or like dipping on the side. Like my mom loves dipping her fries in gravy.
Yeah, well, listen, it all depends on what you're eating though. So like if I'm eating a French dip or like an Italian beef sandwich, I don't mind like juice on the side.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I'm talking about different gravy, I think, than you are.
Oh, you're talking about like mashed potato gravy.
Yeah, like thick gravy.
Yeah, that's not for me.
I feel like Chicago Italian gravy is like its own thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, everyone's got their own definition of gravy, but I think this is a good place to wrap this episode.
Yeah, okay. We're going to wrap right here, guys. And thank you so much for tuning in. And we have about 30 more questions we're going to cover. So make sure you stay tuned for our next episode. Thank you for tuning in to Bachelor Happy Hour.
And don't forget to subscribe. Bye.